How much time do I got left? Not enough. Hey, what's up you guys? We are back in my backyard again. So we're coming off the 5 tips jolly look video. This is one of those midweek blogs that we discussed in some of my other videos, and next week I did mention we're going to be reviewing light metering apps. I'm still researching those, so I actually have a very special video coming next week, so please subscribe you guys so you see it down below. Oh, also, for those of you who are new, my name is Nick. I am a professional photographer, and for those of you who are checking out another video, thank you guys again so very, very much. So, I kind of wanted to talk today because I've gotten a lot of questions about it on Instagram and Twitter. Why photography and why art? Now, I chose photography, I want to be 100% honest. In high school, I was an impatient kid and I didn't learn to draw fast enough and I couldn't learn to paint well. So I was like, photography is easy, you just click the button. I mean, looking back on it now, that is completely the wrong sentiment, but that's why I chose photography. Now, why I chose to create is a whole different story, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. I chose art and creativity because it helped me escape the world around me. I also write. I actually have a science fiction novel that's published. You guys, I'll link that down below. Really what it was is creativity was a way for me to escape. I was grounded a lot as a kid and I looked to books. That's all I was allowed to do was read. So I read all of Tolstoy. Literally, all of Tolstoy. I've read all of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. Everything written by Louis L'Amour. I was grounded a lot, and so all I could do was read. So I stuck my head in the books, and I was like, you know, I want to create my own universe. I want to create my own art. You know, there's only so many books I could read before. I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be a part of that creative community. So I actually jumped into writing first in middle school and high school, and my grandfather was a photographer, and I've mentioned that a few times, and you know, I really got into photography partially because of him, partially because of an ex-girlfriend, and I wanted to get more into visual art. Now, I really swapped between when I was shooting and when I wasn't shooting, and I know in a lot of my videos I'm like, oh, there's been a camera in my hand for 16 years, and that's for the most part true. I'd take furlongs where I wouldn't shoot for a year or two, I wouldn't shoot for 6 months, and then I'd be like, yeah, I really want to get back into this. I have a story I want to tell. And if any of you guys follow me on Instagram or Twitter or on my Facebook page, you know that my photography is pretty dark. I do a lot of fantasy photography. My style is a little bit of a darker style. You know, I like cool colors and high contrast and long shadows. And it's just kind of my way of escaping the world around me. At least that's how it started. And you know, it's way I cope with, you know, things that have happened to me or things I'm dealing with in the real world and in real life. That's why my portfolio is so focused on what I have created, and I don't really publish client work, is because when someone thinks, you know, Nick or Pink Hat Photography, you don't want them to be like, oh, you know, he does those really, really high fantasy or those really dark photos, the really high contrast, noir style almost. It's kind of a weird holdover, you know? I mean, you look towards some of the great spirit photographers of the past, or you look at, you know, the great street photographers, war photographers, and they all have a style. They have this way that they did their art, and it started with me just wanting to be a part of that. And it's grown. It's no longer just wanting to be a part of that, but it's something I use to cope with stress and anxiety and depression and all of that stuff that I deal with in the real world. And some of you might know this, but you know, I do have a day job other than photography and YouTube. I do shoot professionally in the sense that I charge for my work. I do commercial, I do real estate, I do automotive, and I do client work like engagement photos and senior photos and things like that. But I do have a day job, and I'm actually a technician, an automotive technician. I actually fix Subarus. That's what I do as my day job, and it can be pretty stressful and trying at times. You know, I work upwards 50 to 60 hours a week, so doing YouTube and doing photography and writing are kind of my escape from that. It's my way to kind of back off and say, you know, I'm not just a part of this. This isn't all I know how to do. Now, I actually started YouTube because I like to teach. Not in the sense where like I want to be a teacher and have like a bunch of students in front of me. I like sharing my knowledge. Like when I learn something new, I've always wanted to go out and show everyone who I could, who might be interested in learning that something new. And so that's really where YouTube comes into play with that. You know, right now I have like 143 subscribers, and thank you guys again so much for that. But I don't think that YouTube is viable for me to do, you know, full time. And that's okay. I'm not doing YouTube in order to become a YouTuber in that sense. I do YouTube because I want to share my knowledge. I want to share my experience, and I want to share my journey into photography. I see a lot of people on the forums and on the Facebook pages, and they get really easily discouraged. And I was just like that. I became really easily discouraged. And I want to give the sensibility that, yes, even professionals, we make mistakes. You know, we try new things, we experiment. When someone posts a photo, you know, generally you're posting your best work. And for someone who's new and starting out, that can be discouraging. I'm not saying don't post your best work. I'm saying that I want to be the guy who posts my best work along with some of my worst work. So you can see that, yeah, just because this photo from this shoot came out really well, here's about 10 photos from that shoot that did not come out well. And that's why in these videos I share my mistakes as well as the photos that came out really well. And that's because I want to teach you guys, and I want to show you guys that making mistakes is okay. It's part of growing. It's part of being an artist. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is kind of my midweek pep talk. It's a pep talk for you guys. It's a pep talk for myself, because I still get discouraged, and I still feel like, you know, I'm not good enough to be doing these videos, or I'm not good enough to be posting my photos. I'm not good enough to be charging. And I've been doing it for about 3 years now, and I still feel that way, and that's okay. The key is to keep pushing on. Keep pushing yourself to become better in your art, whether it's photography, painting, drawing, writing, any creative pursuits you have. Do your best and learn from your mistakes. We all make mistakes. We've all made mistakes, and we're all trying to better ourselves in these creative areas, so to speak. So I want to thank you guys again so much for joining me for the vlog. I want to thank all my new subscribers from the last couple of weeks, all my subscribers that have been there. And if you're new, make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell notification, like and comment, share the video if you guys liked it. Thank you guys again so very, very much. I really still want to stick to those 2020 goals from this video where I vlog more often. So if you guys like it, please comment. Let me know. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Maybe we can do like a midweek philosophy, a creative philosophy, or an artistic philosophy. Something along those lines to break up the, you know, the 5 tips for this or how to do this, and we can break it apart, something like that. I would be totally down for doing that. If any of you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. You guys have a wonderful day. It's not too cold to snap my fingers, so bye.